Welcome to the Mitten Music, your favorite podcast about music in relation to the great state of Michigan. Jeff and myself, Ryan, we got a great episode up for you. Check it out. Jeff, how the hell are you, man?
Doing good.
Yeah? Guess who we got today? Guess who we got in the studio? Do we still call it the Serial Killer Studios?
I don't know. We might be getting that. We might be beyond that.
We might be past
so
that.
many survivals.
Yes.
I don't think we can call
Were
it
you
that.
guys nervous when you pulled up? You're like, oh, there's this. It's a house in a nice little neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go into this guy's basement. Let's see what's going on. You felt that way?
The well-manicured lawn really intimidated me.
Ominous.
Right? Thank you to the Ultraviolets.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Straight
Having us.
from Grand Rapids, Michigan. How the heck are you?
Good.
We're good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we're good. We're chilling. Tell us about the festival you are playing, and then we'll get into other stuff, just because it's the new exciting thing you got lined up, right?
Yeah, Layla Palooza. It's in Battle Creek, and I got the in last year through a coworker who her husband is on like some county board, something related to the city, and they host this festival every year.
Did you guys play last year, or just this?
Yeah,
is the
we
first-
played last year.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yep. We're playing at 3 p.m., which is kind of early for us, but
Yeah, it's a little
should
early,
be fun.
but
Because you play a lot of mulligans where it's like
Right.
10 p.m.
yeah,
Like-
it's like bands will finish up at like 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. if it's really crazy.
Right.
And that's a little too late for me.
Shoot, this is like too late for me.
Right?
So now 3 p.m. will be like
Perfect. Yeah.
there you go.
Well, before we get
It'll be
too
fun.
much farther, let's talk about who we have here and then who we don't have here today.
Yes.
So let's start with Nick, since Nick has been catching us, Jeff and I, when we doing live stuff. He's been listening to the podcast. He's been reaching out. So he is the network. He's a networking guy for sure. So thanks for all the feedback you were giving us on the live show. That was a riot. But Nick, tell us what you do in the band and just a little tidbit about yourself.
Sure. I'm Nick. I'm the bass player. I kind of just stumbled. I think the Ultraviolets were a thing for a little bit, before I joined and had played a couple shows without me. But stumbled into the Ultraviolets. I was playing in a post-hardcore band called Cold Fist before this. We opened for Eric and John's other band, Mooch Globe, and that's how that kind of came to be. They reached out and said, hey, who do we know that plays bass? And, oh, hey, Nick from Cold Fist was pretty good. Let's give him a shot. And
Yeah.
Were they asking you like, hey, leave Cold Fist, or had Cold Fist might have just dissipated at that point?
Yeah, it's kind of on indefinite hiatus right now, and
Gotcha.
Ultraviolets is my main focus right now, I would say.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we have John next.
Yeah, I'm John. I play guitar. I've been in Ultraviolets since the beginning, back when it was called something else, then also before that when it was called something else. And
It was actually called something
So different versions of
It's-
this band.
Yeah.
there's like been weird iterations of this band with like Austin, Eric, who's not here, our drummer, and me kind of being in it, and then people leaving, and then people coming back in and doing different genres. And yeah, this is the one that's stuck the longest. And I think, a lot of that has to do with Nick being the final puzzle piece.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Ooh, that feels
kind of
good.
put
Aw,
everything
thank you.
together. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we have
And
Austin.
I'm Austin. I do vocals. I played keyboard, so prior to this iteration with Nick, I think we were Vox Agit, and then we were Artificial Anything. And then as of over a year ago,
Okay.
Ultraviolets, that's what stuck.
The name Ultraviolets has only been around for like a year.
A little,
Maybe
year
like
and a half.
no, like
I feel like
I'd say like 2 years.
Year and a half. Going
Okay.
on 2
Man.
years.
Then I must have seen you, because your names and your faces looked familiar to me from just over the years. So I'm like, oh yeah, the Ultraviolets, it had to have been around for a long time. But I bet you it was other bands that I had noticed or saw you somewhere. I don't know.
Right.
There is a band, the Ultraviolet Hippopotamus. I don't know.
Yeah, and I know there was that. And isn't there an anime, the Ultraviolets?
Yes.
Is that
Yes,
where you
there
got the
also
name
is
from? or a
There's
coincidence?
an anime? Is that what you said?
There is only because I typed in the Ultraviolets to see what if you had a website.
They're
or
kind of
whatever.
like the Powder Puff Girls.
Yeah, and it was the first thing that popped up, and I was like,
That's
well, maybe
cool.
they're fans.
I love the
Or
Powerpuff Girls. So.
maybe it's just a total coincidence. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, there are other bands called the Ultraviolets.
Is there?
There's like a
Yeah.
UK band.
Yeah, there's like a
Yep.
cover band or something. We just picked the name because like we needed
something.
a new name because we were gonna change our direction again, and then we had it down to a couple, and that was the one everyone hated the least. But then it's like when you're picking a band name, it's like you say something, you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like cool or iconic. But then if you just repeat it enough, it's like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were thinking about this show, and we said on the Mitt Music, I'm like, it sounds a little wimpy. Like, we can't be like Black Death Angels of music in the thumb or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds
I like
approachable.
mid music.
But Mitt Music, like you say it, and exactly, you say it
Yeah.
enough, and like, I think our logo is kind of cool.
Yeah.
and-
That would be
I
weird
think
if you
so.
changed it.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is usually when you type in Mitt Music, the musical mitten pops up, which is like a defunct podcast of some college girls that haven't done it in a long time. We're like, we do it all the time. Why are we not number one?
That's right.
When you search it up. Actually, I think we are number one now.
Curious about the names though. So it's interesting. I know some bands have keep the name and they just go in different iterations. You guys have chosen to change the name in each iteration. Any reason for that, or?
Well, we didn't like by the time we were playing shows like live on a consistent basis, we were the Ultraviolets.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like a lot of those earlier versions of the band, like were like pretty bad, and just like messy, and like none of us knew what we were doing. Like that, like I had never, like when I first started playing music, like right out of college, like I had no idea what I was doing.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
so we've just been getting better and better. And so yeah, I feel like once we got to a point where we weren't just like banging our heads onto our instruments, we were like, okay, we'll stick with this one.
Yeah, so before Nick joined briefly, I was going to play bass. He's going to play guitar like he is, and Eric on drums. But yeah, luckily, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
So were you going to do vocals and bass then?
I think we're going to like share
Okay.
vocal duties. But to relate it to my own life, I use ultraviolet light every day because I'm in a lab. So that's
Oh, really?
I bring it
Ooh.
back home. Yeah.
Can you say what type of job you have?
Yeah. I'm a lab manager for Grand Valley. That's where I did my graduate
Okay.
Okay.
degree, and then they brought me back as a lab.
Interesting.
It's really cool. So they do wastewater testing for
Oh.
viruses, respiratory syncytial virus, SARS-CoV-2,
Wow.
norovirus.
That's
stuff like that.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool line of work. I hope it takes off. It's like gaining more acceptance
Yeah.
now. And if it takes off at the municipal level, like where you just have these programs at wastewater treatment plants and stuff, that would be,
Ooh.
yeah.
Would you call yourself a scientist?
I would.
I would too, right? He's a freaking scientist.
The funny thing is, like, you go into the corporate world as a scientist. Even if you have your grad degree, you're not a scientist usually, unless you're hired in at that level. Like you're an analyst or a research
Oh,
associate.
okay.
So I never got the title of scientist. So
Yeah, not yet.
technically,
I think he's a scientist.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, for sure.
Eric's not here, but he's a scientist too.
Eric.
Yeah, he's teaching right now, but he's like, he also does like smart people stuff.
yeah. So half the band are scientists, the other half are poets. No,
No, that works.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do you guys all live in the Grand Rapids area? I know, Nick, you live right in Grand Rapids, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, all my life.
You guys in Grand Rapids GR area?
Yeah, I live right on the west side.
Cool.
yep. And I just moved back, so I was in Kalamazoo.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and coming up here every weekend for ultraviolets and friends, and yeah, I'm happy I'm back.
Yeah. Probably a little easier on the practice schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is once a week.
Oh, yeah. Practice once a week?
Rhythm. You got the rhythm, huh?
Yeah.
Every week, once a week.
Where do you guys practice at?
Eric's basement. He has a room where there's flags everywhere, just flags of all sorts, like country flags, punk flags, random flags. But yeah, it's a cool little spot. It has like some noise canceling stuff.
Oh,
on
yeah.
all the flags.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Was it a house, you said?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So that's good.
In our drummer's basement.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Like the bands I was always in when I was younger, we'd always practice at the drummer's house because it was just easier. When you're even younger, junior high school, you can't really move stuff around as easily, or it's not like you can buy two of something to keep one at home, one somewhere else. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know how it goes. That's sweet.
So a year and a half as the Ultraviolets, here or take, to give or take a little bit. Now you guys got an EP debut, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Debut EP.
Just came out this year.
The Radiation
Came out
EP.
Came out.
last.
It's already been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah, because we recorded it, like, what, spring of last year? Or am I crazy?
It was like the fall.
Oh no, it was the fall. Yeah, my timelines are getting mixed up. It was in the fall, so it came out what, January?
We actually recorded it right here in Hudsonville.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where?
And, Mike from the Bloody Pickups in his basement. So set up similar to this.
and
Oh,
y-
cool.
you guys play with the Bloody. I feel like your buddies with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
just-
know
I
we know
feel
all the
like
guys in it, and I mean we know them from even being in other bands and stuff. So it's just they're like a scene staple. So
Their name, like I've seen their name a lot
Yeah.
over the years, and I've seen them a couple times, like like I would go to Mulligan's or whatever, and a band was playing. I'll just go check it out, and I'd watch whoever's playing, and I think twice I probably saw them.
yeah, absolutely, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them.
Heck
Really
yeah.
cool people.
Really supportive, and that's what it's all about. Like, it's not a competitive thing.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool. I mean, we've talked to a lot of different bands in the area or even in the state. Very collaborative, seems like. But we haven't always touched on every genre, so it's cool to hear, the same message
Yeah.
coming from different genres too. It's not
and
competitive.
and your guys' music is right up my alley. Like, I like the harder stuff. I just like the DIY. I like the punk. I like all. That's like all my jam, right? So then when I hear Austin's voice the first, I was like, yeah, baby. It was just it's unique enough. It's like it's low. At first it reminded me of like Clutch, even though you don't sound just like, and I can't remember his name either, but
Gotten that before.
but it sounds, and maybe just the way you look, it's like, dang, dude, these guys look like Clutch. This is freaking sweet. I love Clutch. They're great.
We have had that comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard that.
I know somebody said that. I have no idea who Clutch are.
You got it.
They're
They
much
have
more
some
groovier
jam.
than us.
Yeah, they do. They can get into jam bandy groove, like play a song for 10 minutes long, and
Yeah.
whatever. But they have like 8 albums or something.
Yeah.
They've been around since '90, or they've been around forever. Still making music. Yeah, I saw them 4 or 5 years ago, just at GLC Live, I think.
Whenever anybody talks about Austin's voice, I always tell them that he's the punk rock Tom Waits.
Yeah,
'Cause he's got
I like that.
the poetic lyrics,
Yes.
the weirdness.
I'll use that too.
Yeah.
That's sweet. And Eric isn't here,
Yes, unfortunately.
so we won't tell the whole story. But his battery died, so he couldn't come. No, I'm just joking. No, it's all good.
I'm crying about it.
Yeah, if you're ever, you don't want to get stranded. It's like watch, he stops for gas, can't start it back up. Well, no, I got to find my way home instead of being able to go to this podcast. But Eric, next time we'll see you. When I come see you guys in concert, we'll come meet. It'll be good stuff.
Yeah, go bug him.
Yeah. But I won't be able to make it to. What was the festival?
A Layla Palooza.
Not Lollapalooza.
Yeah. So I knew it looked like it was
It
a
might be
playoff.
Lila. I don't know.
Yeah. So I saw that. Well,
Yeah, we were.
I wanted to say Leilani Palooza, but I don't know. I just
Well, we
seen
looked it up originally. We thought it was maybe in Leelanau, but it's in
Yeah.
Battle Creek, which is
Yeah.
Right?
I
unique.
think it's just named after the Arboretum.
Yeah.
There.
But I won't be able to go to that show, but I will be able to check you guys out. Was it August? You're playing with Bloody Pickups at Mulligan's?
Yep.
Yes.
And Lollygager as well.
Lollygager,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
What do you remember call the date of that?
I could probably
August.
bring it up here.
I'm sure we'll post about it and everything. so
I'm so bad about this.
Right.
My girlfriend remembers when all the shows are for me.
perfect.
I
have
think
no
it's
idea.
August 23rd.
That sounds
sounds
right.
right. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
Jinx.
And then we're also doing, if you're free, I think November 8th at Speciation. That's
Yep.
a really
Oh,
cool spot.
yeah.
I actually just noticed that today. Yep.
And that's with Bronson Arm, who are
Oh.
incredible.
We've been
Arm's
wanting
gonna
to
be there too? Yeah.
We've been wanting to see Bronson. I have not seen them. Have you?
I have not seen them, but
We've been
they're-
wanting to, so we'll be there.
They're amazing.
Big fans.
They're
It's on my calendar.
Lollygaga are really cool too.
Yeah. I don't know that much about them. Where are they from? Do you know?
They're from Chicago.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. So so last year they came through and played a show, and Booch Club played with them, so that's how we know them. And,
Nice.
and that's one of the most fun shows I've ever played. So
Really?
Cool.
they're really cool. So
Where is the place you liked playing at the most? What venue have you really liked?
honestly, I think probably the Treehouse was the most fun I've ever had
a
at
fun
a
show.
show, honestly, and that was like pretty recent.
It's a house
But-
show venue.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where is that
You
at?
might-
Is it in Great Rapids?
It is. Yep. It's by John Ball. Park.
Okay, yeah.
I think they might be closing down recently. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But I just
think
because
that
like the people
show-
are moving.
That is show
Yeah.
on Friday. I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're closing down, but
Yeah.
I would say probably Skeletons for me.
Okay.
Was it the first iteration?
Iteration.
Because Skeletons was around for a long time, and then they kind of closed up for a while, and then they reopened back up, right?
Yeah, their newest iteration. That was the first show that I played with the Ultraviolets. Was
Oh, okay.
at Skeleton. So that's kind of why it sticks out.
Oh,
yeah. And funnily enough, Eric, our drummer, couldn't make that show, and we had a guy from the Wire Monkeys.
Oh yeah.
Their drummer was there, and the rest of the band ended up in a ditch that night. It was a bad snowstorm, so it just worked out that like their drummer's there without a band, we're there without a drummer.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he just went for it with us, and
Yeah, that's got to be tough. Just slide
Yeah.
in if you don't know all the songs. Just
Yeah.
kind of
Well, that was
fit
that
into
was
the groove.
that was the first show we played with like the Nick iteration of the band, so no one had even heard the songs before, so nobody could be like,
there
"Hey,
you
you
go.
didn't play them right."
right.
good first show.
As long as he could keep a beat and just throw in
He did
some
good.
fills.
Yeah, he did
Perfect.
really well.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So the
that's
so the Treehouse and Skeletons.
I would say Treehouse was really fun. I like Speciation a lot. I
Yeah?
do. Yeah.
You guys
I like
have
the
played there
Runoff,
before. It
too.
sounds like.
Yeah, and then the Runoff, which is in Kalamazoo, and that's Bronson Arm. One half of Bronson Arm owns that house and that house venue. Yeah,
In
In Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
they're from Kalamazoo, aren't they?
Yeah.
yeah,
Bronson Arm?
they-
Yeah.
I think one of them.
Okay, maybe then.
Blake and Garrett. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we were talking to Lucius Fox, and they talked about the music scene in Kalamazoo seems to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I heard of Grand Rapids having any shows. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I actually saw Lucius Fox the first time ever.
I was just going to ask you if you've heard of them.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Dude,
Oh
they're
my
so
God.
badass.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Melting.
Oh my gosh, they're cool. Yeah, that was a good. We had them on a couple earlier this year. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a
couple
few months ago. Yep.
Yeah, they were sweet. I love them.
There's just a lot of talent in
It is.
Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, in this area.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the Radiation EP. So we have that out. Was it 7 tracks on it? I mean, I
think it's
Yeah.
something.
have it right
7.
here. I was gonna say. So, in your opinion, what would this? You say it's an EP. It's got 7 songs. In your opinion, what makes up an EP? Is it just it's less than 10 songs? Or is there a certain number of songs that make you think, oh, this is an EP, not an album? Or is there a reason why you call it an E EP?
I don't know. 7 songs is a lot for an EP. Now that I've never thought about this before, but now that you're saying it, it's like, yeah, that is a little long, isn't it?
Because a lot of different bands will have different, like they just think about it differently. It's just interesting. It's one of those funny questions.
I think it has to do with like the intention you have going into it. I feel like an EP, I don't know, sometimes it can be a more like fully formed project, but I feel like usually an EP is more just like a collection of tracks. Oftentimes, whereas like an album is something that's more like constructed from the ground up. So like I know what you mean. Like, there's like, a lot of bands still put out like a 10-track album that's 28 minutes. It's punk.
Right.
And it's like, but it still feels like an album. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's basically you're just labeling it in the way that you want people to approach it.
Huh.
And so I guess
Early production.
this is bite sized. This is bite sized Ultraviolets.
We haven't heard that
No,
response
I like
yet. So
that.
that's
I like
like,
that, yeah.
literally
That's
we
pretty
were
cool.
like every band says something a little bit different, and every answer makes perfect sense. It's just funny.
Also, we didn't have enough money for an album.
Yeah, fair enough. And you just wanted to get something recorded and out there,
Right. Well, an LP, right, is a certain length typically, or I mean, it's got to fit within a certain length. But
For me, it's like the 20 to 30 minute mark is really ambiguous, whether it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 to 30 minute mark.
Yeah.
Because there are some albums that are like 28 minutes, 30 minutes.
right, yeah.
But yeah, I
Yep.
think that intention is really where, because an album's much more.
We should release a really long EP. Like a 50-minute EP.
Well, I think the plan is to do EP number 2 and then potentially combine 1 and 2 and release it as a full album.
Yeah, I've seen that too, where you take tracks or all the tracks from certain EPs and combine them together, or you find, what makes the most sense. To your point, like that themed, I think that is a kind of a piece to an album, is that oftentimes it has, it fits together. It was, whether it was, I don't know, whether or not you guys designed the songs all together at one time, or kind of piece it together.
And then, a lot of bands, especially I feel like younger, newer bands it's just singles.
Mm-hmm.
And then they might put something with 3 songs out. And you look back for like a year or 2 and that's all they've done. And some of the bands, I take it back. I don't think any of the bands we've talked to specifically only do that. They have released singles and several.
Yeah, they might be building up to an album.
But yeah, I've seen bands that just like 2 years and all they ever release is a single, maybe 2 at one time, but like every other month it's that. And I feel like, are you guys gonna do anything? Are you gonna But then I don't know them. They might have different reasons for it, or they're just like that's
how
all the
music
time.
is marketed today.
Yeah,
on Spotify, you can't.
Maybe they're being pushed that way to do it that way.
Yeah,
I understand like the impulse to like only release stuff that you're really like that you feel really good about. But yeah, we just are throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's there. It's kind of
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've only been together in the latest iteration, did I get that right?
You got it right.
You gotta figure things out. It's only a year and a half. It hasn't really been that long. I mean, obviously you've known each other longer, been playing longer, but what we're listening to here is only been around for like a year and a half ish or so. So you're still noobs. I'm just joking. I'm totally kidding.
It does feel like,
but it's like
kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, to me, it's impressive. Year and a half, 7 tracks pressed on a CD right here. An EP, like that's awesome. Good for you guys. I hope you feel good about that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I do. That's awesome.
I appreciate that.
Good. Yeah. Good stuff.
So you mentioned another EP. Is there
Yep.
those songs in the works already? You guys playing some of those out in shows? Or?
Yeah, I think we got. I mean, we have like a ton of songs. It's just that some of them I think have kind of like fallen by the wayside. So we're kind of like trying to narrow it down to
Another 7 songs.
Yeah, another 7 that we feel good about putting out.
I think we've got them. We've got 6 of them. There's like one more that John's got to show us a new one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everything.
So a lot of times John will bring us a guitar part that he's already written, and that's how we'll come up with songs. But other times we'll just jam in the practice and space, and by the time we leave, we'll have written another song.
Yeah.
About once a week, we'll write something new.
Wow.
Seems like, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We're a songwriting machine.
Yeah, that's what I mean about like throwing stuff at the wall. Like we write a ton of songs, and like most of them don't stick, but the ones that do, I think I feel pretty good about.
Do you guys ever go back and take something like one you guys it's not the one we want, but do you guys take a piece from that, or as you guys are going through that process to apply to another song later on that you liked, like a part of it?
I can't speak for you guys, but yeah, when I am writing guitar parts, I definitely do that. I do that, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and my own personal music too. It's a little different for Ultraviolets. Just doing vocals, just lyric writing. I do go back though and change lyrics a lot.
Ooh.
So how does that start? How does that process go? Like you just throw words out there to start out, and then you just kind of go back and refine it?
After we've got a new song that we're working out, then I'll just kind of verbalize, sing over top and get the melody usually.
Yeah.
And then go back and try and structure words sometimes to that, or sometimes just make it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like you got to hear or almost listen to the recording of the music outside of practice, just because like I can hear songs and in my head I would like put lyrics to it in my head and it sounds freaking awesome, but it's like I don't write it down. It's not my song, but if I had a band that was doing that, that's exactly how I'd want to do it. Listening to it in the car and just start build. Oh, that was a good one. Write that one down.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, the melody's just got to kind of come to you out of the ether.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you write about?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Yeah, where does my inspiration come from?
Like different vocalists are different. Like, they pull from different things. Some like tell stories.
Yeah.
Or they have these themes. Some it's just like bullshit, like whatever.
Yeah. I'm definitely not. I would like to be more of a storyteller.
Okay.
I feel like I would like to be more of a narrative driven. But oftentimes, I'm writing like about really more conceptual, more vague.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard singers that do the lyrics themselves. They like who I think it was Chevelle, Pete Loeffler from Chevelle, said that he never uses I, me, like talks about himself ever in songs. Even if the song's about something that happened in the past, it's always the push to the viewpoint of someone else.
Right.
So he purposely says, and he never says me or I. I go, oh, that's interesting. Because I mean, lots of songs have I or me, and sing about something they did or whatever. I just thought that was, I never heard anybody else say that. I just wonder how many other lyricists that like have a special thing they do or don't do, or
kind of depersonalizes it. When you don't use those.
Yeah, for sure.
Pronouns.
Yeah, so I guess it depends. And that's obviously how they want themselves to come off. And there might be other bands who are the complete opposite, where it's like, we want to pull you into like our life. And
I feel like one thing that's helped me write lyrics is getting into more of a character headspace where you're not trying to be yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Because
it lets
it's much
you,
more interesting.
Yeah, it lets you do more, say more.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask about your gear. What kind of bass or basses do you have?
I'm currently playing a Sterling by Music Man Stingray, which I absolutely love.
Ooh.
I got it on Facebook Marketplace for $70.
What?
Yeah, it's like a $300 bass.
I was gonna say, that sounds good.
He basically stole it.
I drove down to Allegan to get it, and around that time we were playing this benefit for some friends of ours. Made a movie called The Allegan Ape.
Oh,
The Elegant Ape.
This like cryptid from Allegan area, like a Sasquatch, you know?
Yes.
So I
like it.
So I drove down to Allegan around the time we're playing the show to get it. And all the while, you know, I'm looking in it, you know, I'm in the Allegan area. I'm looking for this ape, you know, and the guy I bought it from, dude, he lived in this like dilapidated like greenhouse.
Ooh.
So I'm like, it was interesting. And I pulled up. I'm like, hey, are you, you know, I can't remember his name, but are you so-and-so selling the bass? He's like, yeah, come on in. And there's just music gear and beer bottles all over the floor. Looks like he had like some house shows, you know. And
okay.
Gosh.
he was like, $70, man, it's yours. So I was like, all right. So I stole it. And so that's what I'm using for a bass right now.
Cool.
Amp, I'm using a TC Electronic that I picked up, also on Marketplace.
Yeah.
Also for $70. So my whole setup's like $140, but it rips.
Yeah. Frickin' A.
It sounds good. The Stingray sounds awesome. I love that.
Do you use any pedals or anything?
Nope, I don't.
Yeah.
Not I kind of just like a clean, natural bass tone.
Once you start adding in,
whatever I can
it'll
do.
make it. I think, especially for bass, it's just more. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like one time in the
Just
future,
kinda
but
proving it to myself to me that I can just do it on my own, without all the
I got you.
bells and whistles. Because I was really trying to play guitar in my own band, and was never really going anywhere. Just playing lots of open mics, meeting lots of people. So I had approached my friend Tad about. He drove by my house one day, and I'm like, dude, you should play bass with me in a jar. He's like, you know, I'm busy playing bass in Deep Enough, which is another local Grand Rapids band. And he's like, but I'm trying to resurrect this post-hardcore project that I think you'd be a great bass player for, which was Cold Fist.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So then Cold Fist plays with Mooch Globe, and kind of told you that story already, and that's how this came to be. But
Sweet.
yeah.
What about you, John? What kind of guitars you got?
So for a really long time, I basically only had one guitar, just a Strat with a humbucker in it. And so that's the guitar that's on that
Radiation.
EP. But I just recently bought a Jazzmaster, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's fun.
Ooh.
I want to, so like one of my favorite bands is Sonic Youth. And so,
Cool.
you know, they always use Jazzmasters, so wanted to get one,
Follow suit.
see what the commotion's all about.
Yeah, I hear you.
As far as amp, I'm using Deluxe Reverb, so that's the amp that's on that.
Sweet.
And yeah, for pedals, all the like heavier tones are like a hoof, which is like a big muff mod, basically.
It's called a hoof?
Yeah, by Earthquaker.
Yeah, okay. I haven't heard that one.
It's like yeah, it's like a big muff, but it has like a lot more mids in it.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting, but and then yeah, just like a generic overdrive pedal, and then yeah, and then some surfy delay. I usually just keep it on like a slapback setting, kind of. But
Sweet. Yeah. Anything special with Austin's microphones or?
you could tell him about the trumpet.
Oh, the trumpet.
Yeah, I play
Little
trumpet
horn?
on
Goofy.
occasion. Yeah, I'll whip out the trumpet, and it's when we're playing live. I'm exhausted. You know, I'm so sweaty. It's hard to really play. So I've just kind of make some noise on it. But yeah, I've been practicing. I played in grade school. So
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, picking it back up.
Oh yeah, I don't know. So you guys have never seen us, but when we play live, we all dress in like black coveralls.
Really?
Ooh.
It's well,
Yeah.
Eric usually doesn't, but he's he's back there.
Yeah.
so.
It gets hot. It gets very hot.
It gets so hot. It gets so hot. Like, I didn't know I could get that sweaty, and then you're just like inside this.
Yeah, they insulate very well, so you're just.
Yeah, in the winter it's fine, but like out Layla Palooza, like we were like, man, do we really want to wear them?
I wore shorts.
I don't think we will.
I ended up stripping it off, and I had shorts on underneath because it was like, there's no way.
What was the idea for the black coveralls? Just to have something uniform,
Yeah, I
but
think-
something different.
Well, like so, just a group of my friends and I, we all got them just as like a joke.
joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
I've
just
been
like
there.
we would wear them out when we went to a bar, and people would just be like,
What are you guys
are
doing?"
Are you guys in a band? And we'd be like, yes. But
The black overalls.
so
Yep.
so then when we were like gonna do when Nick joined the band and stuff, we were like, maybe we should have like a bit, just because
like
just
it.
just that just something that people remember.
Yeah,
basically.
right. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
A little different than like a suit and tie. You know, a lot of bands will wear like a suit, and it's like
Yeah.
out of place, but like you've seen it so many times.
Yeah,
You're
like
like,
Nation
eh.
of Ulysses or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it's a sense of camaraderie too.
Yeah.
Like being on stage and you're all dressed the same.
Yeah, you're all miserable, sweating your ass off.
That's right. Yeah, you can talk about
It's like, man, it's like going through Nam
I feel
together.
like a monkey in this thing.
Yeah, right. I
But I
you-
will say our shows are super fun. So when you do come, like get
Yeah.
ready. I mean, we got a song called "Give Me the Money." We'll throw out counterfeit money. And
all right.
we got a song, with our logo printed on it. We've got a song called "I Hate You," and we'll play tug of war with the audience. And
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
Yeah,
Very
that's cool.
interactive.
I
stuff
love
to
it.
stand out. Yeah.
I love it.
I haven't done many of the gimmicks recently. Like,
Yeah.
I need to get some more fake money. And
Usually puts his water in a gas can, and then so he's drinking from a
Yeah,
gas can
that's
all the
cool.
while. Like,
the rope thing gets a little dicey though, because if
Oh, I
people
bet.
start running around, like there's a second where I thought somebody was getting choked out at one
Yeah.
of the shows, and I was like, do we need to stop this? But
Yeah.
it was okay. And I kind of want to stay away from it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
Unless the rope's short enough.
you don't want any unintentional issues.
Yeah, right. That's one tug of war. But.
for sure. That's awesome.
You could always let go, Austin.
Yeah, that's true. I like wrenched my arm around it, and I could see somebody getting something dislocated or broken. So yeah, retired the
we'll
rope
think of
for
something
now.
else.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jeff, have you ever seen a band that's done something like odd, like during their show that you're like, what the heck are they doing? What is that? Why are they doing that? Like unique or anything? I'm trying to
think. I maybe, but I haven't. I don't. Nothing comes to mind. So nothing.
not late
stands
Not
out.
in the last several years. I'm sure years ago there had to have been something, but like as you're saying that, I'm like, wow, that's somewhat unique these days. I'm there's got to be other bands that do it too, right? I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't
people-
go to every show, but
People do stuff. I know, like I think the Mollusks have had like dry ice on stage and stuff.
ooh,
Yeah, bands will do random stuff. I know. Was it Fairwind? They had like a
Oh, yeah.
pinata TV that they would like throw in the crowd, and people would, like
Yep.
destroy it
People would
while
be-
they're moshing and
Yeah,
stuff.
so
Sweet.
that's cool.
I think that's kind of what gave us the idea to
Yeah.
do something like that, because we had a lot of fun at that show, like kicking that thing around.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that? And
Right.
So
You remember it, like
Right.
like you guys were saying earlier. It's something memorable. Something
Yeah.
that somebody will connect back to that.
hey,
band.
remember when I caught those dead flowers at the Ultraviolet show?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, nothing's worse than going to a show and people are just like, oh, it depends on the music,
Standing.
but static. Yeah.
yeah, just
Right.
standing there,
I-
sitting there.
I'm going to see you play a show. I want to get into
Yeah.
it with you.
Yeah.
And like Mulligan's is the perfect example. Like even if I don't know any of the bands and I know I'm going there and I'm going to see some bands playing, like I'm not going to sit down in the thing. Like if I don't know them, I want them I want them to see me and be like, I don't recognize this guy and he looks like he's having
Right.
fun. Like I hope it makes them feel better and they just get more energy out of that. Like,
Bring them into it. Yeah.
and then if it's a bigger, like as the bigger a band gets, the less I really care about. Like I'll do whatever. I mean, I don't know. Do we ever sit down at? I don't. Once in
Depends.
a while.
So depends on the venue.
Yeah,
artist,
I
you
guess
said. Like
it
I was
does.
just at the Stray this weekend.
yeah, you
Okay.
kind of sit down there.
You're gonna chill out. It's
Yeah.
kind of a chill scene, or at least depends on the band there too. I mean, you could have a little bit more liveliness.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
It's more of a relaxed environment, but
Yeah.
it just depends. But yeah, if it's a high energy show, get involved.
Yeah,
no sitting down on the
Yeah.
chair, man.
See, I'd love to play the Stray too, but I don't know how well we would come off there. But I think it would be doable. I saw THV just played there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So I don't know how that went, but it is a more relaxed kind of atmosphere. But I think we could pull it off
Is it a
if we got invited.
coffee shop? Is that what the Stray is?
Kind of.
Yeah,
I've never been.
It's like a chill venue. I mean, it's a coffee shop, but they also have food. They do serve beer. They have a stage. It's more you go there to see the shows. I feel like, and they just happen to have like coffee during the day when they don't have bands playing.
Yeah.
But it is a place to go see a show but more chill, relaxed vibe.
Yeah, but when we talked to Hunter, because we actually interviewed Hunter from the Stray, and
I saw that.
And one of the things he talked about was, you've got the stereotype of a coffee house show, right? It's acoustic. It's going to be. He's like, typically your coffee house is not designed for music first. It was designed as coffee. So they designed it though with music at the forefront.
That's right.
So they designed the acoustics. Full bands are playing in there as well. So it's not like I would just get the atmosphere is a little more chill, but you can stand up and have a good time too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But we should check them out. I wonder. Yeah, I mean, if they played there, then
I think we could get in there. It'd just be a matter of not playing I Hate You and Tug of War and shit.
yeah, fair enough.
Which, to be fair, we haven't played in a minute, so
True.
that's some of our songs kind of get a little retired.
Yeah,
Like your Poltergeist, we haven't.
God, but I love that one.
I love
I don't.
See, this is why it gets retired.
I feel like with
Fair
each
enough.
song, you kind of figure out your sound a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think like a lot of the more like straightforward punk songs have kind of been cut in favor of like, I don't know, I guess more of the stuff that's kind of on the EP.
Like Delirium Tremens was our newest song that made the EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thinking about another EP, if you had to guess, I mean, no one's going to hold you to this. How far out do you think another EP would be? Or how far out would you like if everything went in perfect world, you were able to get it recorded? When you think that would come out?
I think the same time as that one. I think the plan right now is to do the same thing, like record in the fall and like
Release in the
in
spring.
December, and then release in January, February, something like that. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end, first of the year, probably. It'll be out.
Cool. You guys you think you'll record again at the
In Hudsonville?
Yep.
place?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just to keep
I
the
think so.
sound consistent.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's a great dude.
It's amazing like how the accessibility of recording now, it's so much easier. You can do that, even through a friend or yourself or any of those different ways instead of having to go to the recording studio. But then there's a lot of recording studios available too. So
Right. Yeah. I mean,
options.
we both make our own music, bedroom lo-fi type
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh.
So that's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
And our demo that's on Bandcamp, we did that all ourselves too. So that's
that's why it sounds so bad.
in comparison to the EP, it
I
doesn't
mixed
sound
it. That's
near
why
as
it
good.
sounds so bad.
That's called the demo. It's supposed to,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
back in the day when people were sending cassettes around for their demos,
Yep, Nirvana.
they didn't sound too, high quality.
I mean, it's trite to say, but I think it's, the imperfections are really what.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear clean, sterilized noise rock.
And that's why I like vinyl records. It's like they are good quality, but they have that they can have pops and this, and it's just not as sterile as like a CD.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is that. I always felt like the terrestrial radio was like that too. It never was completely perfect because depending on where you were, if you're driving, it could get a little staticky. But it was like the thought that all these other people are listening to the same thing I am at the same time. And if I'm singing along, I know someone else is singing along. It's just there's that. Oh, I just love that so much. I thought that was so cool.
That charm to it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of lost that with the
Yeah.
whole streaming thing. Having everybody's in their own world.
Definitely.
On playlists and whatnot.
absolutely.
Sound like an old man. Like
Yeah.
I listen to playlists a lot too. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Oh,
are
yeah.
an
We
old
all
man.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool because you can find so much more music. I do like
Right.
that aspect of it. Like you can go down a rabbit hole, and if you do it right, you can find so much more.
For sure.
I love that piece of it, but yeah, I think we've lost a little bit of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think owning stuff is nice because if you're just like, if you don't know what to listen to and you open up like Spotify or something, and it's just like the entire world's library of music is staring you in the head. And like none of it is really has any priority over anything else. And so you're just like, well, I just go with what like the algorithm recommends. Like, I don't know. Whereas like, if you own something like, you could buy a record like 5 years ago, you really like it, and then like not think about it, and then you go back because you want to listen to something. You're like, oh, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can like kind of rediscover it again.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I'll ask you. You guys are a little bit younger. Do you guys share the music with? So when I was growing up, everybody was hearing similar music, but maybe somebody else caught wind of something else because they had an older sibling or whatever, and they'd share it with you. I mean, you guys kind of cross-pollinate what you guys are listening to?
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't. It's tough. I mean, like when I was in high school, everybody listened to completely different stuff. You know, there were people who only listened to classic rock, and then people who only listen to country. But I mean, it's not like. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's like kind of the same because there's like classic rock radio and like country radio, but it's a little different in that. I don't know.
I think we all have also baseline similar interests.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
terms of, like Eric, John, and I all really love Fugazi. It's one of our touchstones for sure. But I think we also all have really niche like interests and tastes too. So like Eric's very much 90s post-hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm into butt rock.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got like some pop punk post-hardcore elements.
Yeah, I started to get into music was like ska, like upbeat ska music, and then
Did you love Mustard Plug back then in the day?
Oh, yeah,
Grand
Mustard
Rapids,
Plug.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the day, they're still back.
That's true. You're right.
And then I kind of dropped the horns and went to more punk stuff.
Yeah,
but then
I did too. It was like I listened to Mustard Plug, and then I got into Suicide Machines.
okay, yep.
Or No Effects. I mean,
No Effects.
and punk always has they always sprinkle a little trumpet in there, and you don't necessarily call it ska, or even if they don't. What do you call it?
Upchuck.
Yeah, whatever.
Upchug. Yeah.
They
or
still have that,
upstroke.
they're parallel, but different.
Similar. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
I agree.
Keep
And
going.
no, and then I kind of got into. I mean, Deftones has been huge for me. I think
Yeah,
we talked about that right before we started recording, and
Booyah.
yeah, it's probably been my. And I think that's what's cool about the Ultraviolets too is we do have similar interests, but also we kind of like our own stuff, and it made for a cool melting pot of what we sound like,
Yeah, it might get too boring if you guys all liked exactly the same things. You're like, hey, we all have the same 3 favorite bands.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah, then you just end up sounding like
Yeah,
Clone
right.
or something.
Yeah.
Just do a cover band at that point.
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to have. But we have heard some bands where it's like the members are like all over the place. Like, oh, I'm a classic, pianist in a symphony, and I play in this rock band, and I really like classical music. And then the guitarist is like a country, country boy that sings, and all he knows is acoustic guitar, country songs. And then the drummer is just like, I just picked up these up 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like just the most, and they have awesome songs. I was like, how? It's like they're just musically inclined so well, and they work together so well. They make something work. But you would never guess that. Yeah.
Music brings.
I know.
people
Isn't that
together.
so cool?
It does, yeah. You're right.
Well, it brought us together, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
Aw. What a marriage.
See, I knew this would be fun. I just figured I'd get interesting perspectives from you guys and be able just to talk and think of things like this. I'm enjoying this. It's fun.
Sweet.
I think that's how I kind of realized John was a cool dude through music.
Yeah.
We're at a party. I
Well,
knew
because he
him.
saw
How
me.
did you guys all meet?
He looked at me and he was like, "Well, I can tell this guy's a douche. I just look at him." And he's like, "Oh, but he likes good music." Okay.
I'll give him a chance. No, we met through this club in college, like literature, English society, and I think it was at a party that he was listening to some music that I knew. And
A literature.
So this goes back to the poet part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Destroyer, which is like nothing like the Ultraviolets, but
Yeah.
it's he's like a Canadian singer songwriter,
Okay.
But this
indie
was
guy.
probably 8 years ago now.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, I think I was 19. I think so.
Yeah. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We both went to Grand Valley.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, like, we were both in the club. We became friends. Graduated. I like the first musical project I ever had anything to do with was like my senior year of college. So Austin's a year older than me in grades, so he had already graduated at that point. Yeah, that band didn't go anywhere, but it was, it was my first taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of music was it?
It was just straight punk.
Yeah.
Like punk flavored punk.
Punk flavored pummel.
Yeah, but it was like,
Sounds like an album title.
you know, I was in a class and there was a guy who was like if you picked out a stereotypical punk guy out of like the dictionary, it was him. Like, you know, he had safety pins
Yep.
in the ears and like
Patches all over his leather vest with no
Yeah.
shirt underneath.
and like I like probably not now, but even especially back then, like I did not look like a punk guy. Like, I was wearing like sweaters to class and like taking notes on Shakespeare and shit. And so like
That's awesome.
and so one day he brought in like a Dead Kennedys book, and I was like he was just reading out the history of the band, and I was just like, oh yeah, I love Dead Kennedys. I just said that offhand, and then he was like, what? Like, you like good music? And then another day he came in and was like, hey, well, I'm starting a band. Like, do you wouldn't happen to play drums? And I was like, I don't play them well, but
I can learn.
I could try.
So that was the start.
That was the start. The rest is history.
And Nick, you met these guys later on, I'm assuming.
Yeah, kind of the story that I told where I was trying to
that's
start my own
That's
thing.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
So we've known you for about 2 years. We've all known Nick and John and but
Yeah, Eric actually approached me about being in the band.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit older. He's the teacher. He's in his 40s. I'm 38. These guys are in their late 20s. So we got a
29.
broad range.
Yeah.
We're younger, but
Yeah.
I'll be 30 this year. It's like, oof.
Right.
Ancient.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
When's your birthday?
To
Jeff?
be 30 again.
When's your birthday?
October.
Oh, mine is October. Did we know that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I forgot already.
but I'm-
last year we probably
Yeah.
He's freaking.
you guys
He's
aren't that old,
so
are you?
old,
he's
man.
the oldest guy in this room, man. Way older than me.
You guys are mid 40s.
Wait,
max.
There we go. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not even mid 40s, bro.
Oh, you have to tell me your
I'll be
your secret.
43 in October.
Okay. See, that's
See, when you get older, people that are you thought were old when you were younger aren't that old.
You're like, yeah. Yeah, you used to I remember my parents like turned 40. They had very close
Yeah.
birthdays, and they had like a joint over the hill black 40th birthday party where everything was black and it
Right.
was morning, and I was young, and I was like, dang, 40, that is old as shit.
Yeah.
And then I get there, I'm like, I wonder if they felt how I felt. They must not have, because they must have felt way older. Because I feel way better than them. I feel like.
I was gonna say
At
you seem
40.
young and spry.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah, man.
You come catching
The
shows.
secret
and-
is you have to keep
Stay
acting young. Yeah.
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 And 3 little kids will keep you busy.
I think that's part of why like I still like playing in the band, you know, because I have kids. I have a teenage son and a young daughter, and the band is what, you know, keeps something fun for me, a hobby,
Yeah.
keeps me young. And I've even expressed to my wife like, man, I don't know if I can do this forever. The dudes want to play lots of shows, and what if we get fucking famous? You know?
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And she just supports me all the way. She's just
cool.
like, you know, you support me in doing yoga and things, and this is your passion, honey. Don't quit. You're on the cusp of something great. Like,
That's
just
good.
keep going. And
It's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's cool.
That's a good wife. A good
We're just
partner
about,
to have behind you.
we're about having fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why John.
That's what's so fun about like playing with bands like the Bloody Pickups all the time, is that like when you play with a bunch of bands that you're friends with, it's kind of just like a big party.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, like THV and Sid
Yeah,
the
so what are
Plastic
some of the
Friends.
bands? Yeah, what are some of the bands you guys
Yeah. Whether it's
in the scene that you guys really like?
Yeah.
We've heard about the Bloody Pickups, THV.
The mollusks in
Mollusk, okay.
Muskegon.
the mollusks, like the mollusk, the fish.
Yeah,
It's fish,
like
right? Or is it animal?
it's a crustacean, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
no,
like a.
no, it's an arthropod.
Here, he's a scientist too.
Scientist. Well, I got it.
shout out. I would say sit in the plastics probably. Shout
Yeah,
out.
they got
Sit in the
They're
plastic.
no longer around.
Yeah, they're no longer with.
They
us.
died?
They were great. No, they just broke up.
Oh, okay, good.
The
But they
burdens
were,
are great. The burdens.
Oh yeah, the burdens.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
Crooked Spires, relatively new friends. Our buddy Christoph is in Crooked Spires. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
they're
cool.
awesome. Yeah, it's a 3-piece. Like,
Are these
Psychedelic
bands
rock.
slightly different genres, similar?
Yeah, I'd
They all
say,
got
like,
our own flavor. But
Yeah,
similar.
a lot of them, like we initially met them because we were all playing at Skeletones pretty often.
Okay.
So they're kind of punk adjacent, but like you know, I'd say you know, like I don't know if I would call it THV like punk
no.
or even the Mollusks really.
You heard of Common Molly?
Yes.
Another good.
Yeah.
Flogging Molly?
Common.
Common Molly.
Another awesome Grand Rapids based.
They've been around a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Have they?
so-
Yeah, 'cause that does sound
Got
that
a
name
really good
sounds
album.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just played with them at Founders, and that was pretty good.
That was another cool show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I like breweries a lot. Like
Yeah.
breweries. Yeah, you get free beer.
Well, yeah, you get free beer. That's that's
so-
pretty fun.
Yeah.
And Founders has got a cool stage set up. Like it's not too crazy, but it's got enough space,
Yeah.
and you can fit people in there. It's
There's a
pretty
good sound
stuff.
there too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it indoors in there.
So do you, most of the shows you guys get in on, are you guys kind of help coordinate to get in on them, or did the bands kind of ask you to play, or how's that process work?
I think it's like a mix of that. Like, I'm not good at promotion.
Neither am I.
Obviously, like Nick, you've done a lot to help us get shows. I mean, I've done a little bit, and so have you, John. We all have kind of. But
Yeah.
then it's an
Yeah.
equal mix, I think, of us reaching out to
Yeah.
venues and.
Yeah, and I think like when you're first starting out, it's a lot more reaching out, and then as you get more established, it's a lot more getting reached out to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows you at the beginning. Like you gotta
Right.
pester people a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
it'd be
I
really
kind
annoying.
of,
And
I always
then-
kind of like the business side of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, John. You know, I enjoy doing that. You know,
Yeah.
reaching out to you guys and
Yeah.
setting stuff like this up, and it's fun for me to do that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
cool.
That's the stuff I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it's also you got to be mindful of your, you know, your bandmates too. You don't want to overdo it, and with the venues too, you don't want to reach out too much. And
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure we're all on the same page, I think, is important. Whenever we like want to make a move. in
Yeah,
that way.
for sure.
I mean, I feel like I've noticed this, Ryan. I don't know if you have too with bands. I think there's a few that are like, gotta play like every weekend, every day, as much as I possibly can. But I get the more of the sense like the reality is, I want some time of myself a little bit, and I do want to schedule times, but it's more intentional. Like, okay, we're gonna play whatever X amount of times a year, and that's what we agree to, and we're gonna go for it. Like, it's not like I'm doing this 100% full time because I've got another job or other parts of my life. Is that what you guys?
Yeah, I feel like we were saying 2 shows a month would
Okay.
be ideal.
Yeah.
Like I know Nick, that's kind of what we agreed on, you know. So
yeah, I mean, no more than that probably. You don't want to, you know, I'd say even
Oversaturate.
like,
Yeah.
you know, because then you're just going to be, the Ultraviolets play fucking Skeletons.
Yeah.
Can I swear? Can I swear?
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. That's fine.
If you can edit that out. Or
No, it's
whatever.
totally
you're
it's cool.
good.
You know, they play there all the time. I'll just catch them next time, you know, and then, you know,
You might get passed over.
your draw will be less and less. And I think it's good just to, you know, to make each event feels, oh, hey, Ultraviolets are at Speciation. That'll be a cool one with Bronson Arms. So that's something kind of special. And then, you know, the next month, hey, we're at a festival, and just being mindful of, you know, you don't want to, again, overdo it.
Yeah.
Right.
I would love to play different cities. Like I think that's our kind of direction we want to go in, playing more Michigan cities
Yeah.
instead of just Grand Rapids.
Have you guys pretty much then stayed in Grand
Yeah.
Rapids?
Yeah.
Kalamazoo.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
that one show.
We've been to the runoff in Kalamazoo,
But other than that, it's,
Layla and Battle Creek.
yeah, that's it.
But yeah, that's it. Otherwise, just around town.
I would
Yeah.
love to do a show in Lansing, Detroit,
Max.
Mesquite.
Max?
Lansing.
Yeah, Max would
the
be
new
cool.
the new venue I think is Gruel Hall or something.
Yes.
Another one?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
In
it's
Lansing?
relatively new. Yeah, it's like a year or so over. Yeah.
I follow Terry Stevens on Q106 in Lansing,
Yeah.
and he's always talking about shows at Gruel Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't
pretty
know
cool.
much. Have you mentioned that one before?
I think
It doesn't sound familiar
It's been
at
a while.
all.
When it first opened,
Okay.
we talked about it. But it's been
And I
a
never
while.
go to Land. It's yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like I go there enough to
Right.
like Max's. I only remember that because a couple different bands have mentioned playing there. I'm like, oh yeah, and I remember from my friends going to Michigan State, we'd go party and go to Max or whatever.
Maybe I can get us in there because Terry Stevens played us on Q106, and he's got the hookup there. Maybe I could get us in there. See, that's how you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have connections.
Yeah.
It's all about the connections.
This is how it happens, by the way. Nick is like, hey, maybe I could do this, and I'm like, oh.
Sounds good.
So Nick was actually mentioned. I do Monday through Fridays, 8 to midnight on the Sonic Coast. I'll do the DJ stuff and curate music and whatever. And he said, oh yeah, we can play us on Sonic Coast. But little did you know that next week starts Ryan's Stash at 9 p.m. where I get to play a song that we don't play on Sonic Coast. That's a Michigan band, whether it's old or new. But I had to build up a list of 40 songs to get this started before I do it, and I'm working on the next set. And you guys are already in my next set, so
Yes.
you will be on the Sonic Coast at some
Thank
point.
you.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll give you a heads up when it gets closer to that.
Yeah, please send that to me.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. That'll be cool. We'll get some different ears to hear you.
When it comes to live shows, my dream is, I know it's kind of small scale, but Pyramid Scheme is like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I made it in GR because I've had so many good memories.
And it's such a cool
my favorite
it's,
venue.
Yeah,
Cool venue.
it's our favorite place.
Yeah.
I love go. I just feel at home when I know I'm going to go see a show there. I just know what to expect. I'm comfortable.
Yep.
It's
not
the right
far away.
size.
It's
You know,
such
it's
a
not.
good
It's not
size.
too big to where
Yep.
even if you're in the back, it doesn't feel like
No.
Right.
this huge distance
No.
between you. And
But it also feels, it always, even if you don't have a huge crowd, it always feels pretty much full. I mean, not full to the brim, but it feels like it's a full room because the way
Yeah.
they got it designed. So I think, yeah, it makes,
I agree.
I like it.
Yeah, one of the best shows I've seen is this band called Deerhoof.
Ah,
Have you heard of Deerhoof?
yes. Yep, I like them.
God,
They're good.
So entertaining.
They're good.
on stage, and their drummer Greg his kit will just travel across the stage because he's like a really minimal jazz kit almost.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just
And
insane.
did you see them at Pyramid Scheme?
Yeah.
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 That was that a few years ago? Like
Yeah, they've had a couple shows
Have-
every year. I think they come around.
because I was close to going to see them one time, and I used to work right next door. My desk was on the other side of the wall where the stage is. So like Thursdays at 4, I'd hear a kick drum going because some band's warming up for Thursday night or Friday.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
So I just paid attention to all the bands. I was like, oh shit, Deerhoof's coming, and I wasn't able to make it, but I'd never paid attention to see if they ever played there again.
Yeah, I think they came back last year, and
yeah, I went to the one last year and it was
Okay,
yeah, it was incredible.
I'll keep my eyes out then. Yeah, I like them a lot too. They're cool.
I'm sad I missed Flaming Lips. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't able to go.
They were at Pyramid Scheme?
No, they were at
Ben-
20 Monroe.
Okay.
Oh,
that makes
GLC,
that makes
yeah,
more sense.
GLC live now.
And they were doing like the 20th anniversary of each team.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I know Wayne, their frontman, always goes out in a big hamster ball and rolls off across the crowd. That's big
cool.
inflatable. It's a really, they put on a show.
I've heard that. Yeah, they've got some staying power too.
Yeah.
yeah, they've been around for friggin' 35 years, or
Yep.
early 90s,
Yeah,
or maybe
okay.
even late 80s.
I think
That was
early, like even early 80s.
Right, was it?
They got a start, yeah. But they were pretty obscure until the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90s when they got kind of popular.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, soon we have the Leland Off Festival. What was it called again?
Lillipalooza. Battle Creek. Battle Creek.
Battle
That's in
Creek.
July.
We got that.
Yep.
And then we got, what's after that?
Mulligan's, which is
August
23rd.
August, 23rd.
Lollygagger, The Bloody Pickups, and us.
And what was the one, you mentioned a different show.
November, Speciation.
November.
Speciation.
Speciation.
Species.
Which
Cellar.
is,
And is that an actual brewery?
brewery.
Is it a brewery?
Yeah.
It is,
I've
yeah.
heard of it, but I've not been there yet.
I thought you went.
It's like
just check it out.
it's
I
like-
don't think I did.
You went there for some other show.
I did. You know what? Because the name, I think it's the name that's throwing me off. If I saw the building, I would.
We talked
recognize-
about this for a while.
Yeah.
We talked about how to say the name.
Yes, I
Speciation
remember
or
now.
Speciation. Like we talked about it forever, and you went to some show.
That's
I don't
right.
remember who you saw, but
Neither do I. But I guarantee that when I walk up the door, I'll be like, oh yeah, this place.
they're relatively new, and they've been playing a lot of music. I think Fridays are their night, right?
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, I think Friday.
Every Friday night.
They have
Yeah.
vinyl nights on occasion, but they're right on Wealthy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Rapids. Yeah.
But they're like behind a building on Wealthy, so you can't really see them from the street.
Yeah,
Okay.
does that ring a bell? You
Hidden.
gotta kind of walk
Yeah.
through two
Kind
houses.
of by like
Absolutely.
the Meanwhile and
Yep.
Okay.
other places like that.
Yeah.
I also heard there was a new record store in Wealthy, maybe in East Town.
There is. I
Yeah,
don't remember the
Easttown.
name.
Yeah, neither do I. But someone was just telling me. I was like, really? That's
Well, the
sweet.
one by Billy's.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's right
and
next
I-
to Yes
actually,
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
Yeah, yeah, right.
I do. I remember when they opened. We talked about them.
Well, they weren't even open yet. We saw.
That's
the sign.
right.
We went to a show and we saw that they were going to open. And
And I read a couple articles that they were opening up like the following week. That's right. I totally forgot about that. But someone mentioned it recently, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go check that out. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, what's the name of that?
I can't remember.
Okay.
We'll have to-
It begins with an A, unless it doesn't. Then I didn't say that.
I'll find out and we'll stick it in the notes and we'll give them a shout out.
there you go.
Just because we forgot.
I bet they're great, but can't really beat Vertigo. I mean,
No.
come on.
I do like the Corner Record Shop.
Yeah.
But Vertigo has been around for Corner Record Shop's been
I
around
need
for
to
a
go
long
to
time.
Corner Record Shop.
They moved over, so they're at 20th and Ivan Rest now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was wondering because their spot on Chicago Drive
It's all
is
closed
no
up.
longer. Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they moved like a mile
2
away.
years ago almost. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
was
Crazy.
that
Yeah.
big? They have a big space on
They
28th Street.
it used to be
Previously.
it's
Used to be a huge building, but now it's a
Yeah.
little more condensed.
but it's
Okay,
still
cool.
good.
I've been
It's
there.
easier to find stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, that's cool. But Vertigo is awesome, man.
Yeah.
They've been around for
Yeah.
so long. That's
Yep.
awesome. Cool. So yeah, we're looking forward to checking you guys out. That's gonna be a riot.
Look forward to having you.
Yeah, for sure.
Come
Check out the new album.
to one of the
Our new
shows.
EP.
Buy the EP, buy a shirt, get some stickers, throw your hands in the air like you don't care.
Absolutely.
Pay us whatever you want for it. It's up for streaming for free. So, but I mean, you can donate on our Bandcamp if you.
Perfect.
Stay tuned for
Definitely.
the second EP too.
Love it.
Got to support those musicians.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want us to know about the Ultraviolets? Anything we haven't talked about yet?
I just feel like we made it past the mark where a band would split up, so I'm happy.
Oh yeah, like I mean,
You know?
the joke is always you release an EP and then you break up.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
we survived. So I think we're good
That
now.
That makes sense. I like, yeah.
So the
I never heard
message
that
is we're,
before,
we're here
but
to stay. That's
a mark.
That's
I
the
didn't know.
takeaway.
We could have broken up by now.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about that.
Well, we're on season 3, so we got past our third.
Little do you guys know we're having problems and
You
we're
know,
fighting.
Ryan,
Yeah.
Ryan, actually, I
Behind the
think that
scenes.
I just thought of this. I don't know why.
As
But
soon as we come on the show.
season 1 was an EP. Season 2 was an EP. Season 3 is an album.
Ooh.
Boom.
All right. That's
It's a
good.
full.
I can
we
agree
got-
with-
We had enough.
I can
guests
agree with
where
that.
It's an album.
We got organized enough and put some things in place just to make us more consistent and, you know, all that kind of good stuff this third year. Yeah, it's paying off, it sounds like.
Well, we're gonna follow your lead. 2 EPs and an album.
Yeah, there
You inspired
vote on
us.
bump.
Yeah.
we can say we came up with it together.
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome.
So where can people find the Ultraviolets?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Our music is pretty much everywhere. I think Spotify, Apple Music, even YouTube,
It's everywhere.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Deezer,
Title.
Yeah.
Tidal.
Yeah, I don't know what Deezer is, but we're on there.
Yep.
So
I
it's
think we
not
might be
somewhere.
too.
Just let us know.
Yeah,
Talk
DistroKid
about
did
it.
an amazing job with that. I mean, I can find it pretty much anywhere.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah. It's easy to push everything out now.
It really is. Yeah.
Oh, and
Austin
the-
did that for us.
The art for the EP was done by our friend Gadatonic.
I was going to ask earlier and I
Yes.
just skipped over it.
Love to give him a
Yeah,
shout
so
out.
it's just at Gadatonic on
Gadatonic.
Instagram. And,
Yeah, Colin
Yeah, he
Gaddis.
does a lot of cool stuff like in that style.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh, okay.
it's really cool.
He nailed it, and I really appreciate him because he gave me a couple of initial ideas, and I was like, something a little different, and then finally landed on.
And
that
you got to
idea,
get
and
the
he just
you
nailed
got to
it.
get the shirt.
Yeah.
Shadow Punch.
Yeah.
We also have Electric Man and Monopoly. Give me the money, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like
A couple different designs.
give me the money. The first shirt though, yeah, it's this guy called Reddy Kilowatt. He's been a character since like the 30s or 40s, I think, and it
Oh.
was created to teach kids about electricity. And
He's like a little lightning bolt with like sockets for ears and a light bulb for a head.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, and I found a poster that was, I think, from the 40s, and it was like a PSA for kids. Hey kids, electricity will kill you, and he's holding a knife to a child. And so I made a print of it, and that was like our logo.
Yeah, that's
Electricity
badass.
will kill
Yeah,
you.
I know. It's
But I'm going to get you with a
gonna
knife, kid.
like times were different. Times were different.
Don't put your finger in the socket.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Or let this man chop your head off.
Yeah, yeah. But I realized how, I mean, it's been around for so long, other people have used it, so I kind of want to get
Yeah.
away from that.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
still a really cool character.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the original concept. Was the Reddy Kilowatt Electric Man.
Is
Those are
this
our
gal
cartoons.
anybody special? Or is she going to stick around, or is she just a one-off for the
Should ask
EP?
Austin about that.
Well, I would
The
love
woman
to
of his
I'd love
dreams.
to do more with her. We'll see. They're gonna look at
You would.
future covers, album covers.
Sure, okay.
Don't let your girlfriend hear.
Even my daughter seen it. She's like, Dad, her butt is showing.
Like, it's okay.
Not too much.
You know,
just a little.
I do pride myself on being mostly kid friendly. Like I don't
Yeah, we pretty much are.
Swear word is the doppelganger is where I cuss.
Yeah, that's the only explicit logo that I saw in any of the songs.
It just says shit one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I make sure I don't swear in any lyrics. I don't know why. There's not like I don't. Have
I think
kids,
I'm
so-
gonna start slipping in swear words. Backing vocals, just
In the middle of it, his line, you just.
Yeah, Johnny is our backup vocalist. So
Yep.
All right.
So if anybody can do it, he can.
Yeah, we're all over. Definitely, you can find us.
Sweet.
We'll see that on the next EP.
Yeah.
John slipping in words.
I would love to.
well, if you play it backwards, you'll hear the f bombs throughout the episode.
Love it.
How do you play a CD backwards?
Ooh,
Ken.
good question.
Yeah.
You have to rip it.
we're gonna have to press a vinyl.
Put it in a Reaper or something.
Which I think were you guys talking to Ladder Match about vinyl? Is that who you were talking to? Because we'd love to press a vinyl, but it's just about cost.
Yeah.
If we do,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably be for our personal.
It is.
Right,
yeah.
right,
Everyone
right.
said it's. I don't know how. I've never looked into what it costs
Yeah.
I
to
wanna
press
say,
vinyl, but they say it's expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like I looked into it. It was a very rough estimate for a run of 50, maybe like over 1,000.
Yeah.
100, 1,500 bucks.
That's seems like a lot.
And you got to get, I think you get a little bit more. You obviously get a little better deal, but still,
as
it's
you buy more. Yeah.
got to be worth it.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the CDs were absolutely worth it for us to.
Yeah,
For
to
sure.
press
I'm
it.
a CD collector too, so I think it's still alive and well. I mean, the CD medium.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and your other one, I don't know who you were talking to, but I also have tons of CDs where I just have the
The jewel
jackets.
case and the pamphlet.
You're the one.
Well, that was the episode he was listening to. Yeah.
I was thinking about doing the same, like putting them around my room
Right.
or something, because I have all the artwork. It's just in a box in my closet.
Exactly.
you
There's
know?
no way I can throw that stuff away.
Yeah, no, I still have all that. So I'm thinking about also doing something like that.
You know what? I also years ago I used to have. I had so I'll use a Mac laptop sometimes, right? And they had a feature that would take all the albums from your iTunes library and make a screensaver out of them. And the screensaver part was the album. There would be like 20 of them on your screen at once, and they would flip, and it would be a different album, all from your iTunes library. I thought that was the cool. I don't even think it's a thing you can do
cool.
anymore, but I thought that was a cool way to do, like, oh, it's my digital music, which I have of my real music because I have the digital copy and the real thing, and I just love showing the album artwork off all the time. So I thought that was the coolest thing.
That is cool.
You just gave Blast from the Past. I remember when I had torrent music, and then I was meticulous about making sure all the tags were correct.
The tags,
All the
the
album
title,
artwork.
the album,
Yeah.
all the metadata, all that. Yes,
Yeah.
I did all that stuff for sure.
Now I probably do still have it somewhere on a hard drive.
Yeah, I have a hard drive with all that stuff, and then you just over time you're like, oh,
It's so
That's
it's
a
so
lot of
funny
work.
because I was the opposite. So I would just have like songs on my MP3 player that were just titled like, just nonsense.
right?
Just like,
But you know what it was.
yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, this one's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
We're
thanks
so
for
glad you
having
could
us.
come out and have a chat.
Yeah.
Check out the Ultraviolets. We will be checking them out next time, August 23rd, and then again in November. We hope you join, and I'm sure the next time we do a live show, at least Nick will be popping in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Hey, this Nick guy, he's commenting tons of shit.
No, we love it. We need people. We need more people. Well, you could be our friend when we go out. When we go live, we have someone we know we can talk to out there.
Oh yeah, I'm usually always watching. I like I said, you guys are great. I love watching your stuff. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you on.
Thanks so much.
Anything else, Jeff?
That's it.
That's good. We're good. Okay.
All good.
Well,
That's a wrap.
see you later.
If you enjoyed this episode, check out more episodes on any streaming service out there today, as well as our website.
www.themittenmusic.com.
You can also find playlists and concert listings there too.
Check us out on social medias, Facebook and Instagram.